Begin our report in Kajiado County on the development on the military aircraft that crashed earlier in the morning, and a statement just released right this moment from the Kenya Defence Forces as confirmed that all the passengers on board the helicopter Mi-17IE, which crashed at landing at Oltepesi, that is in Kajiado County today at around 9 a.m. have all been accounted for and that have been moved to safety. The injured have been airlifted and are at the Defence Forces Memorial Hospital in Nairobi. Regrettably, as we understand, is that following the crash, they have also suffered some fatalities, and the process of communicating with the families to relay the information and KDF condolences are actually underway. We still do not know how many people have died in the crash. Just say there is fatalities at this point. And the aircraft accident investigators are also at the crash site to establish the cause of the accident. And we're now joined by Vincent Odwor through phone to get more details. Vincent, were you able to get to the site of the crash? What more details can you tell us?
Yeah, right now all the area has been cordoned off, and right now as media we are about 50 meters from the scene of the accident. And earlier in the morning we were able to speak to Air Force Commander Francis Ogola, who said that it is true the incident happened at around 20 past 8 in the morning, and according to he hasn't confirmed things to do with numbers, but speaking to locals, they're telling us that at least 13 people were able to be rescued from the aircraft, and now 10 passengers are missing, and it is feared that the 10 might be dead. And those who are rescued, the 13, have now been taken to various hospitals close to this area for specialized treatment. And this is a place called Emerit Village in Kajiado West Sub-County, and this is an area that is hilly, and it's surrounded with several hills, and it's a marginalized place. But so far, I've seen the GSU officers, KDF officers, and the police who are now at the scene of the accident, and they are continuing with the process of trying to remove the bodies of those who have been trapped in the aircraft, because according to eyewitnesses, the aircraft, the army chopper, it blasted into flames the moment it got down. But we are being told some of the officers managed to jump off the chopper before it got down on ground, and that's why at least 13 of them managed to be rescued. But these are figures that we are still waiting for the figures to be confirmed by from the Air Force headquarters, because right now military has taken over this place, and nobody is allowed to even take the pictures of the scene of the accident. And right now we are just meters far away trying to see what is unfolding moving forward. But having spoken to one of the officials who was here, he told us that the aircraft had no mechanical problems, and they were saying this aircraft was in a military training operation whereby it's normally used by KDF officers in their training exercise around this area. And it's something that happens more often, and the chopper was in good state. It had no mechanical problems, and this is something that they are terming as an accident. But what they are saying is that an investigation team has been set up to try and find out really what caused these accidents. Studio?
All right, Vincent, maybe before I do let you go, and maybe just to get a little bit more details on that, you're saying the entire area has been cordoned off by the military, I believe, or the police on the ground. Has anyone from any official authority been able to speak to the press that is already there, maybe just to get an understanding of when we can be able to get more information?
The person that we were able to speak to, as I have said, was an Air Force commander, Francis Ogola, but he was very cagey with the information, not wanting to confirm any of the data. But he has said much of the information around this incident will come from Air Force headquarters in Nairobi. We also spoke to the DCC in Kajiado West, Moranga Morekwa, who also just described what happened and what the locals are saying in terms of eyewitnesses, in terms of what they saw. But they are saying for any information to be confirmed, it has to come from the Air Force headquarters back in Nairobi, and they are not in a position to really authoritatively talk about this incident because it has been taken over by the military, and therefore the only information that they are waiting for is from the military headquarters in Nairobi.
All right, thanks, Vincent Odwar. There on standby just to bring us more details on that sad developing story. We do understand from the latest statement here from the Kenya Defence Forces is that there are fatalities. We do not know the number of people who have succumbed due to the incident, but also those who were injured have been transferred and airlifted to a military hospital here in Nairobi. We'll get more details. But also, meanwhile, the Kenya Defence Forces confirming the casualties in the morning air accident, saying those injured who are receiving treatment at the hospital in Nairobi, although the details of how many were on board is still yet to be established. Leila Mohammed has still more report, a wider report on exactly what happened in the morning.
Images of a dark smoke over the hilly background in Kajiado surfaced online just after 9 a.m. on Thursday, when reports of a military chopper crash in Oletepesi area were reported. KDF in their initial post just stated that a Kenya Air Force chopper and Mi-17IE Air Force helicopter was on a training mission when it crashed. In other images, military officers are seen manning the area as embers of what was a huge fire still burn in a shell of what was a helicopter a few minutes before the crash. The military is yet to give a comprehensive report on the actual number of casualties and fatalities. Many reports show that there could be several officers aboard the aircraft that perished in the early morning crash. Initial reports indicated that the aircraft was carrying at least 23 officers when it crashed in the early morning incident. At the time of the post, KDF stated that rescue efforts were ongoing, a matter the spokesperson confirms is almost complete, with those injured receiving treatment at the military facility. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Our deepest condolences to the families of those who've lost their lives in that accident, but also very quick recovery, and our well wishes for those who are receiving treatment in the hospital.